First, let's talk about setting up your Pinterest profile. Pinterest profiles are short and sweet, but don't underestimate the importance of a quality profile. Ideally, your Pinterest account should be your business name, if it's not already taken. If already taken, get as close as possible. Or if your business is one that doesn't seem pin-conducive, like a bank or a credit union, create a business Pinterest page for an adjacent topic. Using a bank as an example, you could create a page that focuses on shameless money-saving tips. Add a clean and clear profile image. In most cases, your business logo is appropriate. However, if your logo doesn't fit well, have it redesigned to fit or substitute it with a best-selling product or even your founder or CEO's headshot. Be sure to add your website homepage URL so that anyone who finds their way to your profile page can easily be redirected. Fill out your location, where you're based or your service area. Fill out a short and engaging About Me section, letting visitors know what makes your brand unique. Next, let's talk about creating a Pinterest strategy. As with all methods of online or offline marketing, you must have a strategy in place. Since each social media site is unique, your strategy also must be unique to Pinterest. In other words, you can't just pre-schedule the exact same posts to Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and Twitter. That's not to say that there can't be some overlap, but each site is utilized for different purposes, so your content and strategy must reflect your purpose. Your first step will be to set some clear, specific, and measurable goals, as we discussed earlier. To begin with, you need to build your foundation. This means investing in creating an organized and relevant category of boards for both your shared pins and your original pins. Then you need to begin posting regularly to build your followers and number of pins. Once you have a foundation, continue posting at least 3 to 5 times a week with the goal of getting your website traffic from Pinterest at or above the average of 5%. To determine the percentage of those who transfer from Pinterest to your website, landing page, or linked URL, you should set up Google Analytics. You can also use your preferred analytics software or view the analytics provided by Pinterest. Your page must be set up as a business account to view Pinterest analytics. What you're looking for is which pins do the best so that you can create similar yet unique pins. Let's talk about setting up rich pins. Rich pins simply mean that you can provide in-depth context about your pin. There are currently 4 rich pin options: app, product, recipe, and article. For example, a product-rich pin could automate the current price featured on your website and might let the customer know if the product is in stock. You need to apply for rich pins, which is fast and approval is easy. Pinterest really just needs to verify that you're legitimate and that you have the basic metadata requirements. Next, there's promoted pins. The focus of this marketing guide is to help you design an organic Pinterest marketing plan, but we do want to make sure you're aware of all of your options. If you want to hyper-target your demographic, you can invest in paid promoted pins. Promoted pins increase engagement by 2 to 5% and drive more targeted traffic directly to your website or sales funnel or opt-in page. Your pay-per-click promoted pins offer advanced analytics and tips on what similar competitors are bidding on and which products are currently trending. The primary benefit of Pinterest paid advertising is that the cost per click is much lower than Google PPC. In most cases, you can bid under 50 cents per click and generate impressive conversions. Selecting your keywords is also far more intuitive. Now that we've talked a little bit about getting started on Pinterest, let's move on to Pinterest content ideas and best practices. Currently, the most popular categories on Pinterest are fashion, home and garden, food and beverage, and beauty. These are just general categories which could easily be used on Pinterest to generate traffic for a limitless number of products and services. In most cases, this is a good fit for business-to-consumer advertising or B2C. But don't write off your business-to-business or B2B just yet. You just have to get strategic and creative. When looking to build your boards, and for original content inspiration, consider the following. Repins. Repinning is the fastest and easiest way to bulk up your boards. Your category boards should be designed to inspire or educate anyone who visits your site. Even though a pin is repinned, you can add your own unique comment. Just make sure the source is always clear. Next, let's talk about the importance of adding the Save Pinterest button or widget to your website. This will increase engagement on Pinterest by neatly organizing content on your site that visitors want to refer back to on their board of choice. Once saved to their board, the save has the potential to be repinned. How will they know that they can repin website graphics to their Pinterest account? When they hover over the image, the Pinterest Save button will populate. Now let's talk about quote cards. Quote cards continue to be one of the most effective pins out there. With the long list of user-friendly quote card generators, you don't even have to have graphics design skills to generate a pin worth sharing. This includes seasonal quotes, questions by industry professionals, and even original quotes and phrases relevant to your target audience. For example, 3 things only a nurse would understand. Next, recipes. Like we mentioned earlier when we were discussing statistics, there's over 1.7 billion recipes on Pinterest. Now, you don't want to post recipes if they're not relevant to your brand, product, or services, but if you're in any way related to food, health, beauty, fitness, or home, recipes can be a part of your mix. Next, there's infographics. Infographics come in many forms and are a visually engaging method of delivering fun facts, educational facts, product facts, or any information relevant to your primary target audience. Again, you can invest in infographic software to design your own. The great thing about infographics is that you can post them to Pinterest, your website, blogs, online content, and your other social media channels. You can even print them out for offline marketing purposes. These don't have to be the typical long-form infographics. They can just be a little square with 4 or 5 facts. Next, there's visually engaging imagery. If you're new to Pinterest, then now is the time to start browsing. What you're searching for is the quality of the photos that are performing well, the ones with lots of repins and comments. What you'll notice is that most of the posts look as though they're professionally photographed. You might not have the budget for professional photography, which is where do-it-yourself editing tools come in. Add a filter and adjust lighting, and you can make most photos look better. Just make sure your editing does not misrepresent the color of your product. Then there's casual product placement. Your photos and graphics need to accurately reflect your brand, but that doesn't mean your product needs to be front and center. In some cases, front and center might be the best way to go, but in most cases, not so much. For example, if you sell luxury interior paint, well, you can only have so many photos of your paint can, paint on the wall, brushes, or of painting in the act. So instead of, or in addition to those, why not post some photos of staged living rooms with your paint on the walls? Or let's say you sell fashion accessories. Your posts will get more action if you show stylish ladies sporting your fashions, as opposed to a ton of close-ups of your jewelry or handbags just laying down on a flat surface. Now let's talk about ratios for your pins. Pins that are too tall get cut off on mobile devices. And since 80% of users use mobile devices to browse Pinterest, you really don't want that. You can upload any size pin, but not all will reformat in the visually appealing manner that we're looking for. When it comes to ratios and designing your pins, keep these tips in mind. Profile photos should be 165 by 165. Your board cover image, 217 by 146. Tiny thumbnails will be 70 by 70. The aspect ratio for pins is 2 by 3 to 1 by 3.5. The maximum pixel width is 736 pixels, but you might want to aim closer to 600. Keep long pins like infographics at 736 by 2016. The ideal pin size is 736 by 1104 to 2016. Now that you have a better understanding of how to get started, you might be searching for a few best practices to make the most out of your new social media platform. Here's just a few. Number 1, follow and repin local business owners. Not competitors, but businesses you do business with, or that you're a personal patron of. Odds are they'll return the favor. Bonus points if you have a shared target audience. Number 2, start off with at least 6 boards that have at least 20 pins each. Set a goal to repin at least 5 per week to each board, and at least 3 original pins. Aim for no less than 10 boards total. Number 3, keep an eye on your competitors to see what they're doing and what works. The goal is not to copy, but gain inspiration. This includes businesses in the same industry, but in other service areas, even in other countries. Number 4, find ways to link back to Pinterest. Install the Pinterest Save widget to your website. Add your Pinterest URL to your monthly newsletter. Include it in your email signature. Or offer promo codes which can only be found by visiting Pinterest. Number 5, while your clients can't pin to your board, you can create offline and online incentives where the winner will be featured on your social media. For example, you could provide a prize, including a celebratory pin on Pinterest, as an incentive to the 50th customer who posts creative use of product on social media. Number 6, make a short list of restaurants, businesses, and brands who excel on Pinterest. Regardless of their industry, they have at least a few methods you can test. If you're not sure where to begin, simply type top pins or top add your industry pins into the Pinterest search bar to see what populates. Number 7, don't utilize Pinterest to spam your followers, but feel free to send direct messages to those who leave comments. Pinterest success will not occur overnight, but with steady activity and engagement, your organic marketing will begin to drive quality leads to your business, website, and sales funnels. Now, as great as all of this info is, it's not going to be of any use to you or your business if you don't apply what you've learned. So, roll up your sleeves and get ready to execute the steps in the following battle plan. Step 1. Spend an hour brainstorming your Pinterest marketing goals. Step 2. Think about what kind of boards and pins are most useful for your business or niche and develop a content plan. Step 3. Take 15 minutes to create and optimize a Pinterest account and at least 6 boards in accordance with what you learned in this guide. Step 4. Start filling your boards with pins, at least 5 each for starters, and begin implementing the best practices we discussed earlier.